took a little trip to get some stuff. Just an overnighter. So I went to get some stuff, and anyway, let me go ahead and start this thing. Just be a minute or two off, but it don't matter. And I always pack a pack with, a few things in it. Nothing special. It's just, always pack something. So I got this old medium Alice pack. I've had this for decades. I fixed it up. I've got another Alice pack that, I've got on the frame. You guys have seen it. I'm going to sort that out. That one's primarily going to be woodland camo with tiger stripe pouches. These pouches are apple dyed multi-scam. So all of the extra pouches on here are multi-scam, but I dyed them with RIT dye and apple. So these are extra ammunition pouches, which I put on the top. I have paracord lacing them together in the center like a shoelace, and then I just do an overhand knot at the bottom of that. And then what I do is I attach on the straps. I attach the two together on the two straps. I just run them through the webbing, and then of course these have integrated straps to weave through in a molly type setup, right? But what I do is the two straps that are on the inner area here, I just leave them buttoned, and the ones that are on the outside, I run through this keeper loop on the Alice lid on each side, and then that way it doesn't slide up and down and on the lid, it just stays right there. And then these adjustment straps slide as you need them. So yeah, anyway, it works. It's good to keep lighter objects up here, or if you need to carry extra ammunition, you could do that. You could just fill these completely full with 12 gauge shells if you wanted to. And then I've got an extra pouch on the back here. I always use a piece of paracord in case these come unbuttoned. So I run a piece of paracord and overhand that attaches directly to the webbing on the pouch. That way if anything happened, you're not going to lose your pouch, right? So in this back center, I've got 2 rolls of toilet paper. I take the brown roll part out, and then I just swoosh it flat. And then if I don't want it to be real bulky, then I'll take some off of the roll before and use like half rolls, right? Nobody wants to be without toilet paper, right? So these top pockets, if you're not going to put ammunition in these, you can use these to stow things. Like I've got a belt sharpening kit for my knife in here, and little things like that, just little doodads, right? And then I've got these Sten gun pouches that I dyed on this on the side here. This is a bug suit, top and bottom. So, in case anything happened, I had to be on foot. Bug suit to keep me comfortable, right? And then in these pouches here on either side, not the center, but only on either side, I put these Ovaltine containers that I painted camo. I put one on each side, and then like in this one right here, there's like power bars and things in there, right? So then I just give it a little fold like that, and things that you don't want to fall out of these pockets that could, if you fell or got into some kind of a predicament in your positioning that could fall out, you know, that's what these are good for. Don't put stuff in there that'll make them real rattly, though. You know, if you do have to put some stuff in there that might be kind of rattly, then think about, you know, stuffing a sock in there as a silencer, you know. This is just a patch panel. I create patch panels so that I could, you know, carry a pack, say, with different patches that I like on it. You know, it just slides on that strap. Because it's PAL's webbing, I made these. The webbing is sewn in a PAL's configuration on the back. So it just slides on there. One of my friends called this tactical token, which I thought was pretty cool. So I took this regular old patch and then I made it into a camo coyote tan and coyote brown mixture. But anyways, it's J.R.R. Tolkien's little thingamabobby. What do they call those things? I don't remember. But anyways, it's where you weave letters together and you make some kind of a monogram type thing. And then this right here, you guys remember what Bilbo says, I do believe it's time for another adventure. Okay, so I put that on there. And then down here on the bottom is another Tolkien theme patch. It shows Lord of the Rings, got a map, Middle-earth map. And Eredor is here. And I think Hobbiton, the Shire, all that is right here. And then Mirkwood is over here. And then you see the 9 companions with Gandalf leading, and then there's Bill the Pony, Aragorn at the back, the hobbits and Gimli the dwarf, Legolas and whatnot, all falling in between there. So, yeah, kind of just a fun patch. You know, I like patches. They're just kind of like they just keep you in a good mood, I guess. Some bear spray here. Took that along. You never know when you may need to spray somebody with bear spray. Yeah. So there's inside there's a shacket in a waterproof bag or water resistant bag, and then there's a few other things. There's Cold Steel Trailmaster in there. Anyway, it's a traveling bag. You know, it's just a travel. And in here I got other various stuff in this pouch. I've got IOSAT tablets in case nuclear crap happened, you know, while I was gone. Here's eating utensils. Small knife. Tannenboka. What is it? No. What is that one? can't remember. Not the Tanamboca Puco, that's a lot bigger. Tebow. That's the Tebow. So anyway, I got this paracord on here rigged up. So the way so it cannot come out unless I undo an overhand knot. There's a couple of fire steels in here as well. So the way I got this set up is I got a piece of paracord here. It's in a knot, a figure of 8 knot. It goes up the back side of the sheath, through the first hole in the handle, around and back down and through this hole, and then I just tied an overhand knot there. And that keeps it all safe from coming out of the sheath, and it's easy to stow anywhere you want. You don't have to worry about it. And of course, this is just a little emergency backup knife, you know, something to clean your fingernails. Right. So this is just your typical military pouch. I think it's a, I don't know, 4x9 or whatever it is. I don't remember. 5x9. It's just a typical pouch, military issue pouch. And I got, there's another patch on here. I sewed it on years ago. It's green man. So yeah. So this just symbolizes, like, you know, somebody who's mastered camouflage, you know, which would be me back in the day, you know. And but anyway, this green man patch fits the bill, you know, like a person that's completely camouflaged up. So that's this pack, you know. And of course I got my other pack on a frame. That pack will be going on this frame at some point, you know. This pack I keep off frame because sometimes I want to wear a smaller pack without a frame. You know, there are instances where you just want to do that. Just kind of be a little bit lightweight, not completely rigid. You know, something that will conform to your back if you need to. You know, that sort of thing. And in this case, I just, this is just what I had laying around to go on the overnight trip. So I went and bought some stuff. And came back. Right. So yeah, this particular pack has not been converted with side release buckles or nothing. It's just bone stock. One day when I get more time, maybe I'll convert it over. Anyway, this is not going to be a real long video because I got to get out to the field. I got stuff to do. Got more stuff to do. It's always more stuff during the planting year. Planting and harvesting and all that jazz all takes time. But this summer I am going to get to the Alice pack and frame project that I have. My other Alice pack, which is on a frame right now, but it's not on this frame. I'm going to switch the frames. When I do that, I'm going to work on this frame. I think I'm going to paint it completely olive drab and then put tiger stripes in the paint as best I can, because there's not a whole lot to paint tiger stripes on when it comes to a frame. You know, I've debated whether or not I should even do it, because there's almost just not enough material to paint on, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm still debating it. If you want me to try it, you know, drop me an email and say, yeah, I'd like to see you try, to paint that thing at least a little bit tiger stripe or whatever. If you think I should just leave it flat black, throw on another coating of black, which, stove black works really good for like cast iron stoves. Use stove black. It's completely flat, matte, does not, yeah, doesn't have any sheen to it. Flat black. I don't know how many minutes this is. 15. Okay, back to the old 15 minutes on this one. Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I got to go to work out there in the field. But anyways, one last thing I did want to talk about is that I just wanted to talk about, in the past couple of days, meeting people who had voted for Trump, who are not happy with Trump because he hasn't done anything to rectify certain situations in this country. And you know what? This is his second chance. Second chance. He got elected, landslide. It's a second chance. First time he was saying lock her up, and he didn't lock her up. And the proof is in the pudding. The guy really didn't do nothing the first time around that he said he was going to do. And the second time around, I don't see him doing much of anything either. He made, some, he targeted Iran. He targeted Venezuela. He got a dictator out of power in Venezuela. I don't think Iran is going as well as he had thought. But I mean, what's the point? Really, in reality, instead of like, knocking down dictators in other countries, leveling the playing field, as the New World Order says, right, to bring everybody under one world order. Instead of doing that, why don't you focus on this country? The United States. Why don't you focus on Spamberger or whatever her name is down there in Venezuela? She needs to be locked up. She needs to be sent to Gitmo because she's a commie bastard. So, I mean, the thing is that she needs to be taken out of power. And voting ain't working no more. The thing is they're telling them down there, the sheriffs and whatnot, I guess, and to me, that's just not enough. It's not enough. They're telling them, we're not going to enforce your fake laws and whatnot. I don't follow fake laws anyway. The thing is that they're trying to implement all of this stuff, try to disarm the people of Virginia. Man, you guys got to get militant. It's down to the 11th, 11:55. You got 5 minutes. What is it, this month, or maybe it's next month? I don't know. Well, you might be past midnight. It's time to get on the ball and take care of the business. That's what you got to do. You got to take care of business. Just the way it is. It's the way it is in this country. You know what? Nobody's stepping on my rights. Nobody should step on your rights. Nobody should step on anybody's rights. Most especially the government, the state government, should never step on the rights of any individual person. And we're talking the Bill of Rights here. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, etc. You know what? It is what it is. I've seen some very dodgy looking YouTube videos lately. Didn't have time to watch them, but they say, oh, well, the cops can come in at any time in your house if they want to. They don't need a warrant anymore, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, the first person who tries to step foot in my house is going to rue the day. They may not step out. Get it? That's right. if you like to play Russian roulette with the people, keep on. See what happens. That's right. It's like when old Joe Biden sent his brown shirts around to make sure that everybody got the vaccine. That was like, took off for about a few days, and then it got quiet because I had heard that people started shooting people coming to their house or shooting warning shots or something, and it all stopped. It all stopped that moment. This is the reason why you have guns, because you are allowed to protect yourself, not against deer, but against tyrannical government overreach. You are allowed to protect yourself against that, and against burglars and everybody else. Tell you what, don't get me riled up. I'm all for a second revolution. It ain't civil war. I keep seeing people say civil war. It's not civil war, people. It's revolutionary war. When it's the people against the government, no matter if it's state or federal, it is revolutionary war. It's not civil war. Get it right. Listen up. It's revolutionary war. Alright? Alright, well, I need to get out to the field. See you guys later. Have a nice day.